up today, if it wasn't through your own fault that they stopped you on the way, I'm with you. But for the ones that allowed them and complied, first time round, shame on them. Second time round, shame on you. Do not comply this time, people. Now that you know damn well that it was the numbers were hyped. 59% was agreed were wrong. They weren't wrong, they were barefaced lies. Barefaced lies. Now, he was out there every day on his podium, Leo was, giving all these little stories from his children's programmes. But when it came out to admitting that they were wrong, where was Leo? It was put out in a text that wasn't even, he hadn't got the balls. Well, he wouldn't have, would he? He hadn't got the gumption to come out and say it on his podium that they lied through their teeth and they did it to hype the numbers to keep you scared and to keep the old people in fear. We can't allow them murder any more of our old folk. Any of you that stand back and allow this happen is no better than them in the Dáil. Now the IMF have offered other countries trillions to turn their countries like Australia. And now we know by the actions of this government, the IMF must have been on to them to offer them money too because they're trying to bring us the same. But we're not going to allow it, people, are we? No way, shape or form. We didn't stay in the last lockdown, did we, Gemma? No. We were at the courts every day. We were at the nursing homes. We were anywhere we were needed. And we were the only ones out there, and that's not looking for the Blue Peter badge. But you've got the likes of him and Kelly and the rest of them come out and scream, let's save our country. Let's save our country. Save your country. Where were you when the old people needed you, when they were crying out? Where were they when I got on the phone and asked for their help to come and help us and take some of the nursing homes on? We're abiding by the rules, they. And now they're spouting out their mouths. They want to save Ireland. Get back in your box. There are a lot of you. And go back to Brussels and paint more deck chairs because you're not needed here. Because if you can't come out and speak up for the people that hasn't got a voice, well then you're no good to the Irish. If you're not willing to go along with the scum in here, and you're not willing to if you're not willing to go against the scum in the Dáil, and the scum in here, if you're not willing to go against them and stand up against what they're doing, the tyranny they're bringing down on the people, well then you are not needed. Yous are just as bad. If you're not with the people, you're against the people. And the people have woken up to the likes of him and Kelly, Yellow Vest, now that we heard about our Sinn Féin engagements. And where's Justin Barrett? Haven't heard a sound from him. Not a sound. Now, back in there when we tried to set the march off from O'Connell Street, do you all remember Izzy during the week, Leo Varadkar, you will not take my right to protest away, just remember it? Yes. Oh yes, loud and clear, Izzy. We would all say, well done, Izzy. And what did she do today? She stood in front of our blended lockdown banners and tried to stop us from protesting. What a hypocrite. What an absolute hypocrite. But did Annie his video her face and get her face, and I said, well, why? Why are you trying to stop the protest? Well, going over, I said, to lay a wreath for the men that committed suicide. She was tongue-tied. She hadn't got a clue what to say. Well, going over, you don't even know what you're protesting against. You haven't got a clue. You're protesting against a crowd that's going over to lay a wreath down for all the suicides in the last lockdown. And you're standing there trying to stop a protest. Are you proud of yourself for that, Izzy? All you could say was, look, she knows me name. I mean, really? Or was it he, she, whatever it is? In it. He, she. When she's standing up to men like a man that she wants to be identified as a man, but when he hits her back, she cries. Like a little bitch.
She's an actress.
Cries as actress.
She's a useful idiot.
Oh, she could keep saying, well, she knows me, like as if I was somebody that knew her. But I tell you one thing, I am 4'11" and 10 times taller than her. 10 times taller than her. Every single one of you here are. She's not fit to wipe the scum off the bottom of your shoes. She tried to stop us walking out of Collins Street today.
Is he or is she?
But she doesn't know the people that's here came from everywhere. And were they going to let her stop them now or ever?
No way!
Not a hope in hell. Now, if the people had been able to get up to the country, we were going in there. We were going in there by hook or by crook. And your new railings over there wouldn't stop us, because there's 3 entrances I'm at the counting that I can go through. 3.
Let's go to them.
3. Only thing I needed was the scissors. But I was over there and could have went through there, but the other door is locked. But we want to go through there. There's not any of you will stop us from going in. Because who owns that building, people? Who owns the building? And I'm going to ask every one of you like I asked you the last time. Did you see the BBC going under because the people, 200 and something thousand families stopped paying the licence over there? Yeah. They're going down! Because they too don't know how to tell the truth. So people, if you want to take this scum bucket of a building down, not the building, the people that's in it. You want to take this down and shut this down and put it to proper use. Let's make it into a provision centre for the homeless. The real homeless that's out on the street with no roof over their heads. Or mothers that's in a hotel room with 5 and 6 children. Not just a husband and wife that was welcomed into the country. And he has to open the window a bit because he has no AC.
Shame.
Send them home.
What we need is empty this out of the scum and put the homeless into it. That's what we need to do with this building, because the use it's being used for is against every one of us. That's all it's being used for, to go against us, and we own it. We demand them out of that building. So everyone out there, that TV licence is illegal. If you just look at the small print and go in and research it is illegal. Stop paying the TV licence.
Take it anymore.
We ain't going to take it anymore, and we ain't going to pay it anymore.
Enough is enough.
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 Fake news, RTE.
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 You all stood on the bridge while the lovely Rita Emer, she's somewhere in the crowd, mate. Thank you, Emer. That was made for the 2 men only 4 weeks ago that was told they hadn't got a hope in hell of getting a home in Ireland. No, it wasn't only just Dublin, in Ireland. How long was he on the street? I asked the man. He said over 4 years. He said he was told within the next 7 years you'll be lucky if you got a home. They saw no future for themselves. They must have had a little chat among themselves. We can only guess. We can only guess. We can only guess their minds that day when they climbed up on that bridge and over into those icy cold waters. Into the icy cold waters, it took 10 minutes to take their lives. Did this building in here report on it? Did any newspaper report on it? Nowhere. RTE never opened a mouth about those 2 men going into that River Liffey because there's no chance of a home for them in Ireland. Not a word out of the scum buckets in here. Not a word out of them. All they can do is COVID fear into the homes of the elderly, putting the fear of God into them. Shame on them!
Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them!
Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! By these people in here in RTA covering up the real tragedies that's happening in Ireland, by these covering it up, is no less guilty than the ones that are causing the deaths of these people. No less guilty. They're hiding the atrocities that's happening to the people in Ireland. They are hiding it. And they need to be exposed. They need to be exposed. I asked one of the RT fellas, why was that not reported on? We never heard about it. Liars, liars, liars.
But their friends in Berkeley, California, who died in that balcony, that collapsed, we never heard the end of it.
Never heard the end of it, one of them.
Yeah.
They also didn't report on that paedophile over here going out looking for children, did they? No, they hid that as well, but we found it and put it out, didn't we?
Or if you send your kids to school, then it's informed consent.
If you send your children to school, people, on the day that they're doing the vaccinations, it's consent. I'm doing this all week on my live stream on the Periscope, and I'm telling you, if your children, these in here are not printing this, they're not telling you this. If you send your children onto school, they are taking that as consent to put Bill Gates' poison into your children. No way is the exact right word for it. I want every one of you to get on the school to your children, your grandchildren, and you tell them, I want to know the days that's planned for vaccinations in this school. And you also hand a written letter of no consent to the headmistress, and you want a letter back saying that your child will not be vaccinated. That is a must. It's got to be done. To save your child. We have one little girl in Utah. She was 8 years old. She's all heard it last night. Any of you that listened to the party, I forget the little one's name now. Can you remember it? Little Mackenzie. 8 years of age. The school said the nasal spray was safe, and so she went to a doctor. And she asked the doctor, which one? He told her that the nasal spray was quite safe, and she took her doctor's word for it. A little 8-year-old girl, real happy, running around playing in a funeral yard, not a bother on her. They noticed her getting sicker and sicker. Within 4 months, the child woke up. Terrible, terrible stomach pains. Within hours, that little girl was dead. And that was the nasal spray up the children's nose. Anyone got any idea of what year this was? 2015, and they said it was only a new vaccine. And Leo Varadkar has bought in 600,000 of these vaccines. Put it up Leo's nose. I was going to say somewhere else. Put it up Leo's nose. Up Leo. No, he'd like that, wouldn't he? Leo's nose, where this is so serious.